Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at the best cases of instant karma. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. My dad told me this story. He was driving back from the shore when traffic got really bad. About a mile ahead, there was an accident that had brought traffic to a crawl. Stuff happens and my dad decides to be patient about it. Others weren't so patient. People began driving on the shoulder in order to get ahead of the traffic. This pisses my dad off. We all know how this goes. We do the right thing and are punished for it. Whereas these assholes are skipping in front traffic and will probably get away with it. He thought about following the stream of cars onto the shoulder, but he decided he'd do the right thing and wait. As he got closer, he saw two cops in a parking lot. One cop was directing all of the shoulder drivers into the parking lot, while the other wrote all of those drivers tickets. He describes it as one of the most satisfying things he's ever seen. Oh yes! Don't you just love it when people who break the laws of the road get punished for it? Yes, finally, all that swearing when you're driving paid off. I was working in a supermarket when panicked customer A came up to me and said he'd accidentally left his cash in the ATM and had anyone handed it in. I was about to say no when customer B appeared behind him and said he'd been trying to catch up to him. He'd been queuing behind him at the ATM and saw what happened, so he'd got the money for him. It was £200, so a decent amount. Customer A was super grateful and offered him some of the money, but he wouldn't take it. Customer B then bought a scratch card, scratched it, and found he'd won £5. Not a whopping amount of karma, but karma nonetheless. You do good and good will come back to you. Yeah, I feel like people should have that in mind. Even if they don't believe it, it's like something that's pretty good to have within you. And then the world would be a better place if everyone thought like that. Guy in front of us gets pooped on by a bird. Friend turns to me and says, "Sucks to suck." Friend literally gets pooped on as well, right at this moment. Sucks to suck. Ah, shit. The bird really was like, "Oh, you laughing? You want it too, huh?" These are the kind of moments that you always want with your friends though, honestly. Like your friend slips over and you're laughing at them and then you slip over and they're laughing at you. Those are the best moments. I worked at a grocery store. I was stocking instant noodles on a big sale display. All I had was a cheap, small step-to-step stool. You know, the one with the bar that runs across the top step. Reaching down to the stool from the shelf I was standing on was about 3 feet. I had a 60% chance my foot would land on the top bar and collapse the thing. I asked a coworker to use his shoulder as a handle as I got down. My supervisor called me a princess for getting assistance. Soon after, he was stocking the 2-liter Coke bottles on a sales display. He tried to get down. He took the 40% success rate jump onto the step. Hit the top bar. The step ladder collapsed. He broke his arm and took down half of the display. I just clocked out and left before they told me to clean up the spilled soda all over the place. Oh, now who wants to be a princess now? As if you're just trying to be safe with yourself, right? You know, you want someone to lend you a hand so you can get down safely, and that person is going to be like, "Don't be such a princess." Like, why? Why are you talking as if being a princess is a bad thing, huh? Yeah, I want to be a princess, so what? The supervisor should have been a princess too, but nope, he's a donkey. Jackass I knew in high school was trying to get a mentally handicapped kid to do stuff for a Jackass type video in a very nasty, cruel way behind the gym. I'm sitting behind a car in the parking lot. Special kid is not dumb enough to play this game. Jackass decides to get him to hold the camera. People are heckling and calling out suggestions. Nothing interesting happens. Then someone comes out with a basketball, puts it on the concrete sidewalk, and then hands Jackass an aluminium baseball bat and mimes hitting the basketball, like splitting a log with an axe. Jackass winds up, brings it down, and I hear boom. His head is shooting back, blood everywhere. The bat clatters like 20 feet behind him and he goes down backwards. The bat bounced, nailed him in the eyebrow, split it open, and knocked him out. He was okay but had a scar and a hell of a black eye for a few weeks. And the whole time the mentally handicapped kid he'd been trying to humiliate on camera is filming and laughing so hard he's crying. Security didn't believe no one hit Jackass till he showed them the video. He just hit himself and he knocked himself out. Idiot. You'd really place a basketball just right below your head and then whack it so it could bounce back onto your face. Like, everyone knows how that's gonna Turn out, the person who had the basketball and handed him the bat knew what was gonna happen. You know, he was just so sick of Jackass. He was like, yeah, you should just knock yourself out. And Jackass was really that dumb kid who was like, okay, I'll do it. Trying to embarrass someone, but in the end, you just embarrass yourself. Who's laughing now? Back in high school, I was kind of being a jerk to a girl I was friends with. Nothing too bad, just some friendly teasing, but still. Then I turned around and fell down a flight of stairs. Even mid-fall, the karma and the justice did not escape me. We both found it pretty funny. Deserved it. While working for the fire department on a call for a multi-vehicle rollover accident on the interstate. We got on the interstate one exit away running into traffic, so we moved over to the emergency lane with lights and siren. We were about halfway there and a BMW pulls in front of us trying to cut through the traffic. He didn't even look. I laid into the air horn and he came to a complete stop with his middle finger out the window. I'd had a lot of people do stupid things when seeing lights coming at them, but this guy was being an ass for the sake of being an ass. He got out of his car and started screaming at us. Meanwhile, he was blocking the only fire engine and 2 ambulances available. People were really hurt half a mile away, and he was making his stand because we honked our air horn at him for blocking us. I looked out at my window to see a highway patrolman running between lanes towards us. He was pissed. BMW boy was immediately arrested. His pretty car got pushed out of the way into a ditch and he went to jail. The people in the accident were hurt bad, and 2 cars had to be cut open to get people out. It was frustrating. What the heck? The freaking entitlement he thinks he has? What the heck? Like when I hear a freaking ambulance and sirens behind me, I would get so scared. I would like pull over straight away because, dude, I don't want to be blocking anything. That's how normal people think. What is this guy doing? He doesn't even care about other people's lives, honestly. He's just butthurt that someone honked at him to move out of the way when he's supposed to move out of the way. You know, if you don't move out of the way, then you're going to get fined. Seriously, what is this dude doing? He's probably a rich kid, huh? He sounds like a rich kid. It just sounds like he thinks, well, I can get everything dealt with money. I was in 8th grade. I was standing on a bench when I watched some girl fall over in the yard, started laughing and pointing, and then went to lean back onto the fence that was behind the bench. Turns out it had broken off where I was standing and I fell straight through and into the mud. Turns out I did an oopsie. Yep. One time in middle school, this guy who was relatively new at our school was making fun of a girl in our class who fell in the hallway in between classes. Coincidentally, this was a girl I had a crush on. He was a little bit of a class clown and was mocking her, making her look stupid and clumsy. Apparently, he misjudged his footing and while attempting to jokingly ape the way she had fallen, actually fell for real and landed squarely on his back in front of everybody. He broke his arm in the process. Passing him by in the hallway, I just saw him lying there, surrounded by adults and staring up at the ceiling, face completely expressionless. He didn't come back to school. Pretty sure he moved after that. I would have too. Yeah, guys, this is how she fell. This is how she fell. Let me show you guys. But he actually broke his freaking arm while she didn't. Amazing. He was just rethinking his life, you know. He was just like thinking, how am I get a new identity? Which state should I move to? I remember in middle school, I knew a kid that would go door to door collecting donations for the walkathon and he'd keep the money for himself. He used the money to buy video games with it. One day he loaned his friend his game collection. His friend moved away with it. Oh, that's satisfying. I bet the friend just didn't agree with what he did and he just got annoyed. My friend and I were walking out of Walmart when a homeless man asked me for money for food. I don't ever carry cash on me, so I say I'm sorry I don't have any and go to walk away. However, I had worked earlier that day and still had unopened snacks in my car, so I walk back up to him and say, I don't have any money, but I do have some snacks and water in my car that I can give you. His face lit up. So I walked to my car and grabbed the snacks and walked back. I handed him the bag. It had a granola bar and 2 bags of chips, some crackers and 2 water bottles. He thanked me about 20 times and I told him to have a good day. So I go to my friend's house and we're just hanging out, and I'm scrolling through a citywide selling page on Facebook. I had just bought a new king size bed and didn't have a bed set for it. I came across this beautiful solid wood frame with built-in drawers that was in perfect condition. The seller had listed it for $100. She was selling it because it didn't fit her new house. So I have my husband and some friends get a truck and we go to get it that same day. I gave the lady the $100 and she mentions that I meant to post it for $1,000 but mistyped. Since we already agreed on the price before I realized it, you can have it for the $100. And that's how I gave a homeless man food, and good karma greeted me with a practically new bed set for $100. Do good and receive good. That's actually so nice though. Like, even though they didn't have cash on them, they were still thinking about what they can give to the homeless man, and they had some stuff, so they went back to give it to them. That's actually so kind. And it was also nice of the lady to give the $1,000 bed set for $100. I hope she gets her good karma. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!